Hey folks, welcome out to the backyard today, folks, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize early on. It is windy. It's very breezy. We've got some weather out west that's causing us to have a lot of strong winds today. So we're going to do the best that we can to get through this without a bunch of noise and things going on. Other than that, it's a very beautiful day. We've got a lot of activity in the area. What are we going to do for you today? We're going to do a dish that's fairly new to me. I've only done this a couple of times, and I kind of tweaked it around to make it Jeff's way, but it's something very simple that you can do at home, and I think it's enjoyable to a lot of people. And it's chicken breast in a peach jalapeno glaze. So here we go. Let's see if we can get this started. We're going to do this in a 12-inch Dutch oven. Now, folks, I'm going to have to tell you that a 12-inch Dutch oven, that's my favorite size Dutch oven. It it works a lot for a lot of different applications, and can be made deep or shallow. This is a shallow, made deep, but it's a good size for an all-around family. To this Dutch oven, we're going to add about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and we just put that on, so we got to let that get hot. But right here, move things around, folks. We have things situated for the wind. Right here, we've got some chicken breasts. Now, the chicken breasts we found at the store were really, really thick. So we butterflied them. So we cut them in half and we butterflied them. And then we cut them in half again to make thinner sections of meat. Okay? And you can leave them whole if you want. I just chose to do it this way because it's going to cook a little quicker. And here we got a little chili powder. We're just going to lightly dust this a little bit. We got a little salt and pepper in here, and we're going to do the same. Going to have to watch our wind as we do this. But, hey, it's cooking outside. You've got to do it in a lot of different ways. Now, this is 1 teaspoon of chili powder. We're not going to use it all right here. We used about half of it. And this is a teaspoon of salt and pepper. And again, we're not going to use all of it on this. We're going to save a little bit of it. So just say half a teaspoon of chili powder and salt and pepper that are on this chicken. I'm going to kind of give this a little rub a little bit. Let it kind of sit there. Let's check on our Dutch oven and see what temperature. Well, we're not super hot, but we're kind of getting there. And this dish doesn't require a lot of sear on the chicken. It just needs the chicken to be cooked really well. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it on there. I don't think we're going to hurt anything. I got to keep my rags tied down or they're going to blow off. And get that laid in here. Oh yeah, it's getting a little sizzle. Y'all often hear me talk about cooking outside and all the things that you can do with your mess when you're outside. I just beat that cutting board there to knock off the extras, and you can't do that in the house. Let's see if we can get this seared off for you. We're cooking fairly good, folks. Not going to take long to get this out. I got a pretty hot fire and the wind's blowing, so that kind of helps you. We're a little downhill. We got a little more grease on that end than we do on the other. Things like that you got to watch when you're cooking outside. Folks, we flipped this chicken a couple of times. It's probably, I'm going to say, halfway done right now, just by the way it acts. This piece is trying to fall apart, and you can see in there it's halfway. So we're going to let this go just a little bit. Doesn't need to be fully cooked, but it is chicken. One thing while we're zoomed in here, I'm going to tell you, I always tell you to let your beef and your pork come up to room temperature before you cook it. Don't do that with chicken and fish, folks. Keep chicken and fish fairly cool. Doesn't have to be icebox cold. Let it get up a little bit, but keep it fairly cool until you get ready to cook it. It has a tendency to spoil a little more easy, in Jeff's opinion. I don't know if that really matters To a lot of people, a lot of chefs may tell you I'm wrong, but I'm going to tell you in my history and my experience with it, let it stay a little cooler. Okay, folks, we're about ready to pull that off. Now, what we're going to do, we have this universal tool. It can be a lid lifter, lid holder. It can be a lot of things. It can be a trivet. But what I'm going to do is use this Dutch oven lid to hold this chicken. We got two really nice chicken breasts, and then we got the one that Jeff butchered up. But guess what? It's going to eat the same. We're going to cover this up a little bit to keep the critters off of it. You got to remember when you're cooking outside, you got to do all that kind of stuff. Okay, to this pot. All right, we're going to make the glaze and the rest of the stuff that goes along with it. And I'm just pulling this little stool around to make it easier on me so I don't burn up. This isn't the best table. And we are planning on building y'all a little bit more professional type table. We're going to pull this Dutch oven off just a little bit to cool. Before we add the ingredients, I'm kind of going to scrape some of this chicken in here. It's going to help flavor our dish. Okay. All right, so let's get this going. So the first thing we want to add to this is our peaches. We have two peaches that we cut about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of inch slice. I leave the peeling on my peaches, folks. It's just me. You're welcome to peel them. These aren't the best peaches. Peaches aren't in season right now. But we're going to add those to that. And to that, we're going to add 1 jalapeno pepper. Now, I'll leave the seeds in there simply because that's me. You don't have to do that. And we got enough heat in this Dutch oven, folks, that you can kind of hear this frying just a little bit already. We want to let this peaches and this jalapeno kind of warm up just a little bit and start to get the direction of cooked. Hey everybody, we put our peaches and jalapenos back on the fire, keeping it hot. We used what residual heat we had, and we're probably going to have to pull it off again. I got kind of a roaring fire going in here. All right, we're getting a little bit where we need to be on those, so we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to add I keep getting hung up on 2 today. We're going to add a 1/2 cup of peach preserve. Okay? You can buy your favorite peach preserves. It can be unsweet, sweet, whatever you would like. Okay, folks, we got back up on our stool because we were pretty hot. You can see we're still bubbling. Now, that leftover salt and pepper, which is about a 1/2 teaspoon, we're going to add in there, along with that 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder. We're going to add about a teaspoon of crushed garlic and a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon of soy, and a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. That's my favorite mustard, folks. We'll let all that come together. Now, folks, we put our Dutch oven on the indirect side over here. I was pretty hot on that fire. You got to remember when you're cooking over a fire, the distance between what you're cooking and the fire is your heat control. The further you get away from your heat, the better you cook, the slower you cook. We're kind of getting a little tender. We're going to add that chicken breast back to it. There we go, folks. Y'all don't see that, but Jeff almost lost that piece of chicken. And you can't see in here the way we've got it, but we're kind of giving this a little toss. We're going to let this kind of come together just a few minutes, and we're going to pop back out here and let you see what we got. All right, folks, we got this pulled off, and we're doing good. Our peaches are getting pretty tender. I left these a little bit where they have a little bit of bite. I don't really care for mushy peaches in this dish. We'll let this sit here for a little bit, just all kind of come together. I hope y'all are having a really good day. We are here, even though it's windy. We thank all of y'all that subscribe to our channel, that watch us and follow us, both our videos and our shorts. We're nowhere near professional, but we try to do the best we can and just show you what we've been doing for a long time. And may not be the correct way, but it is a way that will work, I guarantee you. All right, folks, let's get this about ready to plate you up a little bit of this stuff. All right, folks, we got a bowl out there. Now, you know, you can do this over the top of rice or something like that if you want. I honestly prefer it just the way it is. I'm going to grab a chicken breast here. That laid in here. And I'm going to grab us some peaches. A few of these jalapenos. If I can get them without them falling apart. Get a little bit more here. And we're doing good. Folks, I apologize. My allergies kicking a little bit today. And the wind is not helping that situation out at all. I'm going to take a spoon and get a little more of this glaze and this syrup. And the peach preserve, like I said earlier, you can use a sugar-free peach preserve if you want. The sugar in this peach preserve is balanced out by the hot of the jalapenos. Now, I leave the peppers in. If you don't leave the peppers in, obviously it won't be as hot, but I like spicy food. There you go, folks. How does that look? Well, we got all that plated up for you, and like we always do, we're definitely going to take a taste. Fork out of here. Hopefully this chicken just breaks right, and it does. Put the chicken and a little bit of pepper. Folks, that's good. I don't know how to describe that. I wish there was a way that you could taste what we have done here. You get a little heat from those peppers, and the peach really comes through, and you get the sweetness of the peach preserve. And you can grill your chicken if you want a little more grill flavor on it, but trust me, it's good like it is with the chili powder. I would say if you grilled it, do not put the chili powder on it. Oh boy, that's really good. Folks, we want to thank y'all again for stopping in and watching us today. We try to do the best we can to present you with something that you can take and cook in your kitchen, in your home. And your following us is truly heartfelt, and we appreciate that very much. Come see us when we're out and about. Let's cook for you. I'd love to serve up this dish for you. Enjoy your food, folks.